I just received Sony's latest A6700 camera thanks to our friends at Photosetup, and this is the long-awaited update from Sony's A6000 series, which was not that great, but this one, I tell you, it's a beast. So let's go straight to unboxing. Obviously, when my friends from Photosetup sent me this and to write me an email, I was very happy about it. However, I would have been way more happier if I would have had somewhere to open this packet up, like a table or something, but since all my tables are full, well, I guess I'm going to be stuck opening this in my bare hand with a scissor. What they send in the package is the camera and some lenses, mainly the 50mm f1.8, which I already have one of. I also got the G Master 18-100 f4, which is going to be a heckload of fun to test, especially for some photo shoots and some videos I'm going to shoot. And brace yourself for the main event, the Sony A6700. Anyhow, this is the main event, and this is what we're going to test and unbox in the same fashion as we did before. As for the unboxing experience, well, we pretty much have the normal, regular stuff, like the books like you get with every single goddamn camera, and the strap, which I can get out, yeah, the strap, and the camera, which is very nicely presented in this paper bag, I guess. So Sony is very eco-conscious, and this is a goddamn tiny camera. I mean, I'm going to be a bit biased since I do have large hands, so I can't really hold my A7 IV comfortably, but this is stupidly small for a camera. This little body, my friends, is a combination between Sony's FX30 and the ZEV1 with the Bion's XR processor that has that AI face tracking and so on and so forth, and I really can't wait to test it out. Now we are unboxing the 50mm, which is not a very high end, but it's a pretty good lens nonetheless. I also have this little thingy on my Sony A7 IV, which is pretty nice. I didn't want to spend a lot of money getting the f1.4 G Master or some Sigmas. Even though it's not that sharp, I will need to do further research on the Sony 6700 since I really want to see that performance. And this is the other lens we have. This is the Sony EPZ 80mm to 105mm. It's a weird name, but like I'm pretty used to Sony's weird naming schemes and conventions, since I also have Sony Xperia phones and those are confusing as hell. But hey, here's the G Master. I mean, maybe just the G lens, maybe not the G Master, but it's a G lens nonetheless, and I really can't wait to test this one out. It looks pretty cool. It does also have the internal zooming feature, which will be great on my gimbal, and I can't wait to test this out. Like, I'm pretty stoked about this one. This camera has the Bion's XR processor, which also helps with AI stuff and AI face recognition and more processing, or in case you wanna shoot on auto, because this camera does have auto. This also have a 26 megapixel APS-C sensor, which means it's a crop sensor, but it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just a smaller sensor, and if you pair it with a full frame lens, you also get that very good bokeh, and you also get enormous zoom. This also has 11 FPS high-speed shoot. This can also shoot 4K up to 60 FPS or 120 FPS if you do the S&Q mode, which is the slow motion. This also have S-Cinetone, which is Sony's kind of a color grading like they have on the phones, like S-Cinetone for mobile and on their big cameras, the Venice line. And besides the S-Cinetone, it also got the S-Log3, which is very nice to see in this. In terms of connectivity, you also got USB 3.2 and Wi-Fi. On the side you have a jack, a USB-C, the card reader, and the small HDMI, which is kind of a downside, but other than that, in terms of connectivity, pretty good. And now that that I played with the camera for a few days, I can finally tell you my opinion on this one. In terms of build quality, it's pretty much on par with my Sony A7 IV. The build quality is amazing. You also have the custom buttons that I don't know if you already had on the other Sony cameras, but you do have it on this one. You have 3 customizable buttons and 3 programmable ones to put your settings in it and go with the flow. Another thing that is also nice on this camera is the fact that now it has the brand new switch that the A7 IV has, switch which allows you to move from photo to video to S&Q mode pretty quickly, even though I did find a flaw, maybe because this is early software, even though I don't really think so, it's early software. But anyway, I did find a flaw where if you're in the manual mode and you switch from the photo to video, it doesn't change the settings, it just keeps the setting that you already have. For instance, if I want to shoot on ISO 800, because that's the base ISO of this camera, when I switch it to photo, it keeps me on ISO 800, even though I want to shoot it in like ISO 200. Another thing that really stood out to me is the autofocus. Man, I fell in love with the autofocus as soon as I saw it. As I said in the beginning of the video, I did take my camera to a party and I tried to take some photos there, and I was shocked on how good the eye focusing is. My first camera was a Nikon, and then I upgraded to another Nikon, and I was shocked by the A7's 4 capabilities of registering the eye, the face and whatever. But the brand new processor on the A6700, the Bions XR, literally blows it out the water. Like, this camera can track human, birds, insects, it can track anything, and the tracking is really great. Like, I felt like I was taking photos in pitch darkness or with variable lights, like the disco lights, and that camera managed to track the eye in whatever the case may be. It was just amazing. I really think that all cameras, no matter if they are beginner or professional or medium format or whatever, should have 2 SD card slots. Since the A6700 has only 1 SD card slot, and I feel like anyone can just lose their photos, even if you're not a professional photographer. If you are taking this camera to travel, because it's made for travel, because it's literally pocket sized, and you kind of, I don't know, drop your camera, the SD card does some weird things and you just lost all your photos and your memories, it's pretty important to have 2 SD card slots. And even though I know this is a cheap Sony camera and it should lack some features, it's pretty easy to just add another SD card, and it's not that hard. And even if I need to pay another $50 extra for it, I'm willing to take it if I have 2 SD card slots. I do have to mention its pocketability. Even though I said this in the unboxing, the camera is literally very small. It's very great for travel. I really like the fact that it's this compact, and even though I said it's kind of annoying to hold in your hand, like my grip is not there, you actually get pretty accustomed after a while. And if you pair it with a strap from Peak Design and just hold it to your hand, it's really a great formula and you can't go wrong with it. It's very nice, it's very friendly, it's very pocketable. I think everyone can shoot with it, because I do give my cameras to other people. I know it's cursed, please don't blame me. And usually when I give it to them, they say it's very weighty and they can't hold the camera, but you won't have a problem with this one, because I paired this camera with a 24mm from Sigma, which is pretty heavy, and the V-Ing V860 from Godox, which is pretty bulky and big. I don't feel like this camera gives you any weight. I mean, it's lighter than my A7 IV, and again, I'm coming from a DSLR and those are bulky, heavy cameras, and by just having this thing in your pocket, it's very nice. A little bit of disclaimer here, I do have to keep the photos and the videos for the full review of this camera, because I didn't have enough time to shoot enough and see all its quirks and features and maybe downsides of this camera. So go and subscribe to this channel if you want to see the full review. And another thing I want to point out is the fact that next week I'm going to Bucharest to hold the workshop and the review of this camera. So if you want, I will be live, but not on my channel. I will be live on Photosetup's channel. It will be next Thursday at I think 7 or 8 o'clock, but I'll make sure to post it on Instagram whenever I find out the schedule for the event. That was just a quick reminder if you want to check out that video at that live and be there to support me or see me in a live. It's the first time for me too. So yeah. Other than that, my first impressions of this camera are really good. It's a very friendly and pocketable size. Even though I'm not agreeing with this price, the fact that this camera gives you so much, it's just purely insane. Another fact that I want to point out is the fact that Sony did not include a joystick, which is kind of a bummer since I already got used to my joystick on the A7 IV, but it's not that big of a deal since Sony did find some cool software tricks to just move the cursor anyway and select it. I'll make sure to keep that for the full review. Thanks a ton for watching this video. This is my first unboxing slash first review and I hope you really like it. I hope I made something better, and now that the sun is gone and this video as well, I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I did change a few things and the video quality is better, and all I can say is that if you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe. Please leave a like on this video, share it if you think that it might help anyone else, and I hope to see you soon. Hopefully this year again. I'm not going to make any promises since I kind of broke like the last 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So yeah, thanks. Bye.